Good morning and welcome to yet another exciting segment here on Sunrise at See You Just in Time for the final part of our views. And of course, joining me are the ladies. I have Sarah, I have Sandra, and I have Kira. Happy New Year, ladies. I'll continue saying Happy New Year until March. Yes. Until March. But anyway, ladies, this morning we're going to be talking about striking a balance between work and family. And balancing work and family can actually be something very hectic. And a report and a survey did state that 77% of Africans, as well as 80% of Americans, have reported that they have failed to strike a balance between work and family. And this can actually bring around a number of issues, including stress, including anxiety, including poor family and work relations when you get to mix the two. So that is why this morning we are going to be discussing how best we can actually strike a balance between work and family. So ladies, first things first, I want to understand, and this I'll pose to you, Sarah. When I talk about work and life and balancing the two, what pops up into your mind?
Setting priorities pops up into my mind, because if you want to thrive in life and if you want to thrive in your career, you have to make sure that both ends of the spectrum are duly being satisfied, or okay, maybe not that word satisfied, I don't have to use that, are being fulfilled. Because you'll find yourself in a place, if you're not striking a balance between the two of them, you'll find that you are miserable in one place and using the other place as an escape for that place. So people who are miserable at home are going to use work as an escape. And people who are miserable at work are going to use home as an escape from work.
You have actually opened my eyes to something.
Yes.
Because certain men, there's a family I was to, and the man would spend more time at work compared to home, but little did I know that actually his home was miserable. And for those who enjoy home more are going to want to run away from work much quicker, getting back to their families. But anyway, so how would you maintain a balanced work and family lifestyle?
Prioritize. It comes down to just setting the goals or the things that you want, being clear about the things that you want in life. So some people get themselves into a situation, say they start a family with the wrong person because they have to, or society is telling them that, okay, you've gotten a job, now you have to get married.
So from the beginning,
you
you
have to get the right partner. You have to make the right steps to, putting your life in order. Because if you don't, you're going to start, finding escapes. And you have to, so if family is important to you, or you want to have a good family, start a family with the right foundations or on the right basis, so that, and then later on move on to the next step and start your career or work on the right foundations or on the right basis, so that you can enjoy both. A lot of people think that they are workaholics, and yet they're using their workspace as an escape from home. So you don't want to go to a family function and say, I work on Sunday, I will not be able to come. Because you are not putting in the time or the priorities in place, exactly, to mend these relationships or to make this ground also a really good place for you. And then also at another time, sometimes people just want to go about life as, I beg your pardon, to go about life in one go. So you want to start a career and you want to start a family at the same time. And yet you should, take steps one day at a time. Build one and then move on to the next one. Because if you just start the other one without proper planning, you're going to leave it incomplete and it's going to leave you frustrated.
Okay. So how about you, Sandra? How would you strike a balance between work and family? And I understand that you're a mother of 3 amazing children and you're a family person, and I know you love your family from the conversations that we have had with you. So how are you able to strike a balance with managing CTV and the different things you do together with your family?
I think it boils down to being organized. Yeah, you have to be organized. I'm organized. I know this is work time and this is family time. Like, as you know, I don't work on weekends because I made it absolutely clear from the get-go is that Saturday and Sunday is time for my family, because I am at work from Monday to Friday and it's the morning show. So there's really so much that goes into it. But when it is time for family over the weekend, I have to be with my family. Yeah. And I'll, like what Sarah said, some people are just at work and they feel like, oh, I have to work on Sunday. Oh, I have to do this. Don't work hard. Work smart. Don't work hard, work smart. Just like for me, I've always said, instead of doing something over the weekend, I can do it during the week. Let me do it so that I'm not stressed as well at work. I know that I have done what I am supposed to do.
Yes.
And over the weekend when I'm with my family, I'm not beating myself up like, oh my goodness, I should be there shooting or I should be this. No, don't work hard. And you know, people have this mentality that, oh, people are seeing me, I'm working, I'm going to get that. You might be there just wasting time.
Yes.
Work smart, like know what you want and go for it. Pace yourself. If you spread yourself thin, everything is just going to crash.
And just one more thing about working. When people call themselves workaholics, oh, I like to work, you could actually be struggling with
How to put things in order.
no, you
allocate
may be
time.
struggling with being a workaholic, which is actually an addiction.
Yeah.
And you may be using that to suppress certain things that you're going through. Perhaps
Yes,
low
imposter
self-esteem,
syndrome
yes,
as well.
imposter syndrome, low self-esteem, anxiety, or you're just escaping.
Yeah.
What
Very
are you
true.
escaping from?
Yeah.
Okay? If you find that me buried myself in work is distracting me from all the kelele and noise around me, you are escaping from something and you have to reflect, probably see a therapist, or probably just read about, go to the internet and read about being a workaholic.
Yeah, that's true.
And
Yes,
understand what
Yeah.
it
and
entails.
understand what it means, because you are actually struggling with something that you even don't know that you're struggling with. It's like, no, me, I just like to work. No,
So we shouldn't take
no,
break. All
honey.
these people that we see around
What
saying,
are you
I'm the
running
workaholic.
from?
Here to suffer.
We are not here. Nobody wants to suffer.
Well, in relation to that, Sarah, and before I get back to you, Kira, are countries actually that have tried and managed to strike a balance between work and family. That topping the list is the Netherlands, and it is ranked best for the work and life balance. And then we have Denmark coming in second after the Netherlands. Then we have France, we have Spain, we have Norway, we have Sweden, and we have Germany. Now, those are some of the countries that have actually tried to make sure that the people they employ are able to strike a balance between the time they spend at work and the time they spend with their families. So, Kira,
Yes.
this I would ask it to you. What are some of the signs that you can actually tell that your work and family is not in balance, is imbalanced actually?
One, if work itself is stressing you out, you know, when you go home and the first thing you're thinking about, oh my God, work, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? I feel like, yes, there's really you're not having a balance and you're not allocating your time properly. And then the other thing I would say is if something stresses you out so much to the point that you can't sleep, yeah, I think if something is stressing you so much, you've not yet actually found a balance between your workplace and, you know, family. If you find that and you allocate time properly, then all this won't be stressful. So I think it's all about allocation.
But I think Shivan, that something has changed, and I'll keep on referring to the pandemic because much as we were working from home,
Yeah.
and at first we were not used to it, then we got comfortable when people had to go back to the offices. But I feel that there's been like it's become a bit hazy to balance this because it's work-life balance, but you're working from home.
Yeah.
So like, where do you
Where do you
draw the line?
Because
you know?
then that is the next question.
Because
where
yeah,
do you draw
yeah,
the line?
it boils
So how-
over into each other, and looking at work-life stats. Yeah, American report. It says that 95% of human resource professionals actually say they lose employees. There's a big annual turnout, yeah, that they have to let employees go, and this is because of burnout.
Yes.
They are unhappy, they hate their jobs, they are
Yeah.
depressed, so they have to let them go. So annually they are just getting new people that they have to train all over again because of this burnout, and this is because of the imbalance.
Yeah.
So much as the pandemic has taught us how to be versatile and to work everywhere, I think it has to some extent also made it worse for people actually to balance it out, because you're it's not like you're going to go to the office, then you're going to be at home. No, the office is at home.
Well,
So
this
how do you-
reminded me of a gentleman actually passed away on Tuesday because of too much stress. He was actually just exhausted, just tired. And the neighbors just, you know, wondered how he died, and it was just fatigue. You know?
Well, in relation to that particular conversation and in relation to what you've hinted on, Sandra, we're actually going to be diving deep in how best actually employers can help employees, because today we're talking about work. So if it stems from work, then the employers need to understand how best they can actually work hand in hand with the people they are employing so that they're actually able to balance this. But before we get into that conversation, and this should probably be running on your screen in regard to how to strike a healthy balance between work and family. And these are key points that you need to take home. A healthy work-life balance is good for your children, for your family, relationships, and you. Making changes at home can help you find a better work-life balance. You can also talk to your employer about family-friendly work arrangements. Adjusting your work habits and your perspective on work can help you too. And actually, some of the benefits of when you strike a balance between these two is, and when you have a good work-life balance, you are more likely to have a mental and emotional energy to give your children the loving attention they need to develop, learn, and thrive. So now, ladies, how best do you think employers can actually be able to assist the people they employ so that they're able to strike a balance, so that we don't have an incident where a man or a woman leaves work and then they are carrying work at home, or you don't have an incident where you're carrying your problems then from family and into the workspace?
I think people just don't have honest conversations with their employers during the hiring process of how much that they can offer and do. And also, they also don't have the conversation on flexible working hours. These are conversations that people have. But I also understand that people are desperate for jobs, especially here in Uganda, where there's a huge number of unemployed people. So when people get a chance to, go and get an interview, a call back, and they're being hired, and they're telling them, oh, you're now going to be working from 7 to 6 p.m. They're like, oh, it's okay. And this is just, that's fine. You're just excited initially about getting the job, but later on, you start to burn out. You start really motivated, and then you later start slowly getting unmotivated, uninspired. You're fatigued, you're stressed out. You do not have time to do any other things except for just work. So I think it's important for people to have honest conversations with their employer. And this is the person, I'm first talking about the person who is seeking the job. You need to have an honest conversation with HR and say, I can work from this time to this time, and give your valid reasons. Because having proper mental health is very important. So you can tell your potential employer, if say they want you there from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. or from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Ask questions about what your job description is. What do you need of me? You may find that your job description can have you get that work done in less than the time of your work hours. You understand? Yeah. Or if your job description has a lot, going on, perhaps you can either, find a compromise where you reduce your work hours and have, you break down the things that you're going to get done in the week so that you don't overburden yourself. And then for employers, I think it's important to give your employees favorable working hours. For instance, if they're to start work by, I think starting work from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. or maybe 4:30 p.m. is, reasonable time enough. And then properly allocate and break down their responsibilities so that they are able to actually finish their tasks in the day. Also give them days off. Leave. Everybody is entitled to sick leave or some days off. Let them have these days, and when they actually are, this time for their time, if it's time for them to actually go away for leave, you let them go. Do not start again. But you see, we haven't found a replacement.
But
so
also, when they're on leave and then you're sending them work emails, now they're able to strike a balance. You understand? Exactly. Like, you're making it difficult. But Sandra, as you also hint onto what, and you add on to what Sarah has said, I'd also like you to handle the issue of how we can actually set strategies for both the people that have families and work. Like, what key strategies can they put so that they're not mixing the two or even having one of the two overlapping the other?
I think, first of all, it begins with you, like what Sarah said. It begins with you, like, know what you're signing up for. Don't just go in blindly and you're just signing.
The money?
Yes, we do. We do need the money, but you don't want that burnout. Yeah, you don't want that burnout. So it begins with you. Know what you're signing up for. Know what you are able to deliver as well. And like she said, leave days and all this and that. But I think we should also take it a step further, especially for the employers. Now, Western countries have people called occupational therapists.
Yes.
I think we should have this in every organization, because you can go into, for example, employment. You're a single woman, you can work those hours, you can travel, you can do everything, you signed up for that.
Yeah.
But then your situation changes. You get a baby, you know, your baby is little, and then they're expecting that from you. You're going to get stressed out, and you're going to get burnout. Maybe you've not slept the whole night, you've been breastfeeding, the baby has colic. So when you have these occupational therapists and they keep on assessing you, your situations, and then you talk about your frustrations, and then they can adjust accordingly, so that you are proactive. You don't wait for someone to go into depression and then say, oh, their mental health is important. Let's be proactive about it. Yeah, let's put these things in place, yeah, where you feel it's a safe space and you feel understood, and then your organization can also conform to your situation.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel so.
Okay, as we wind up the conversation, Kira, do you think that setting priorities is a strategy that we need to adopt when it comes to striking a work and family-based system?
Very much so, yes. I do believe we have to have a strategy, and I feel like if you have everything allocated, you know, family time, just like what Sandra does, you won't have the pressure. So time allocation is very, very important. Knowing at the back of your mind what needs to be done, when it needs to be done, will save you a lot of time. And yeah, talking to your employer to understand if you're in a situation, if you have a mental problem, or if you feel the work is actually taking a toll on you, talk to HR. You know, it's very, very important. We may take this very, very lightly just because you need to deliver. You need to deliver, you know. You feel like I need to be at work, I need to do this, I need to do that. At the end of the day, your health is very important, and need to realize that these jobs, you know, you can easily be replaced, you know. So put your health first. Just lay out your priorities right and follow through. You know, don't just put things out there and then postpone, because if you postpone, at the end of the day, it's going to take a toll on you. So yeah.
Well, we did have some responses that came in from the people that when we posted this on our platform on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, we had some feedback coming in, and this is from Twitter. Our first response comes in from @EssentialWorker, replying to @CTV Uganda and 5 others. And he says, by making a timetable and knowing which amount of time I'm supposed to give work and family, schedule and plan for your daily time routine as well. And I think this is very important. And Sandra did hint on it. It is very important that you plan your day and get to understand, this is what I'm going to do at work, and this is what I need to do when I'm at home. And it's also important to make a priority. I mean, there will be times when you're at home and you have an emergency as a doctor. So then that person who is not well or who is in labor is your priority at that time. And then we have another response coming in from the one and only @Adams Mayambala, and he says a timetable would work. However, it depends on the nature of occupation. Imagine a bomb blast at midnight and you gotta be live. But Adams, surely a bomb blast. And our final thoughts on this particular conversation, and that should be playing on your screen. Well, that should be playing on your screen right now, and those are some of the final thoughts that from the team and I that we think that you need to put into consideration. Otherwise, that winds up the conversation that we had for you today on Our Views. Don't blink. Well, thank you so much for being a part of Sunrise at Sea, right from the hour of 7 a.m. up to the hour of 9 a.m. It has been an amazing time, and I hope you are able to pick a thing or two. I hope that when you go back home, you're going to start training for ballet. I also hope that you're going to be very interested in how best to actually strike a balance when it comes to work and family. Otherwise, from the team and I behind the scenes, from the ladies and myself, wish you a lovely, fruitful day ahead. Good morning, and don't blink.